close up yung mga embroidery niyan.
I think his creations are timeless. If you pull out a Pitoy Moreno gown, you can still wear it. He was very creative at the same time, a visionary also.
And he's been able to show it to the world, all his beautiful creations. I mean, he didn't just stick to the Philippines, like all over.
He was also fearless, the way he would put our shows together. We were modeling the best places all over the world. He was very intentional and very mindful about these things.
And it's not only fashion show, it's also cultural. Showing the Philippines, you know, the fabrics, you know, everything, yeah.
Unpainted,
Yeah, it's not only fashion
unembroidered.
show that you like walk the ramp or catwalk. You know, it's not that. It's whole package. He's simply the best. Aside from being an icon, a legend, you know, he's really
Real person.
real
genuine.
person. Parang me, I considered him really more of a best friend to all of us. Well, honestly, I was really shocked when I saw him first in Malacanang that he is really short, right? But I said, oh my God, Pitoy Moreno is so cute. That's the first thing I said. And then he said, oh, maganda ka pala talaga in person. That's the first thing he told me. And from then on, he said, okay ha, you're gonna model for me. He never stopped calling. Always, always calling.
I think I also met him when I was 16 or 17. And it was in a dinner. When he walked towards me, you know, he had this presence about him. He was parang commanding, di ba? And he just goes, you're gonna model for me. Sabi niya, he was just so confident about himself that I would say yes. At 16, 17.
I met Pitoy also when I was 16. It was in his intercontinental fashion show, and I was a guest. He had this look of wonder on his face. He just had that look all throughout his life. He was like always interested in life and wanted to know. He was interested in you. He was interested in what was around him.
When I was about 15, I did one show for another family friend. And Pitoy was in the table with my parents. So I got to meet him and all. And he tells me, I'm going to make you a star. Just model. Don't model for others anymore. Just model for me. And I was like so sheltered before that. I was so shy. But Pitoy like really helped me a lot in you know, overcoming that.
This one, oh, let's do the pose of Pitoy. Ready? Go.
He's really funny. I mean, his comments, especially when he gets mad. He's really funny, maybe because he's very close to us and he can really say what he wants. You know, he doesn't have to hide anything from us, right?
Whenever he'd get stressed with us, he would go, he would start fixing his face, he'd get so tense with us. You know, Pitoy was very himself.
And his famous line is, okay, girls, do your number. Instead of saying so many things, nini, mga nini, do your number.
And I think his house was like our second home. Aside from the rehearsals and all, we'd spend it in Malvar Street. And I remember just after rehearsals, we'd lay down and sleep side by side, wake up, have merienda, He just fed us well, you know.
And we had the run of the house.
Yeah, he used to be so strict before with the other male models and no dating and no boyfriends, dressing rooms far apart and everything. All of a sudden, it was his fashion show in Europe and he gets Arsenic to be the groom and I was the bride in the rehearsal. And he says, you lift the veil and kiss the hands. Okay, fine. So we practiced that, right? The next day, I did not make it to the show. So the show comes, Arsenic and I come from different ends, and then he lifts the veil and kisses me on my lips. So I was like, what?
First kiss ba?
But only in that one show. The next, batch of shows, he couldn't na because Pitoy was there already. So I think he followed Pitoy na.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean also. How cute. And they have
5 kids now.
5 beautiful children.
No, 5 like you. 4 boys and youngest is a girl.
He was dedicated to his craft. He was hardworking. He was very approachable and friendly. He was many things a person would strive to be. And the older I get, the more I appreciate Pitoy. Because I realized he had great values.
Yeah.
And he took care of those people who worked with him. He was all of the people who worked with him, the seamstresses, they were with him forever.
One thing also, you actually grew up with Pitoy. Teenage and young, 20s, 20s, yeah, di ba? And okay, now I remember, it's the discipline, that he inculcated in us, not the strict type. Although, when it comes to fashion shows, of course, fitting and all, you have to be there and all that stuff. But you're right, Meg, it's his life. He's a decent man. Such a decent man, and we saw the discipline in him, which rubbed off, I guess, on us, no? We're so thankful of, imagine traveling all over the world with the best bunch of people. Where else can you get that?
He was really good at putting together a team and building these deep friendships within the team. Like with all of us, we've been friends for so many decades, and that's because of the way Pitoy brought us together. So teamwork, dedication, focus.
He always had my back. If he didn't like somebody I was going out with, he'd talk to me in a way a parent would. I mean, the same way my dad and my mom would tell me something about, that kind of person. He'd be talking to me that way. Doesn't forget where he came from, how he started, like his roots and everything. Then his craft. Everybody knows about his craft, how good he was and everything. With so many shows for how many decades of traveling and all. And he'd be organizing all those trips, those shows, getting sponsors and everything. Like maybe we didn't know how hard he was working during that time. But just imagine he had the whole year working towards that 1 month of a show, right? Putting it all together and everything. It's really admirable.
Now, because there's a lot of young designers and everything, and when they talk about fashion and all these things, they always say, share us your experiences with Pitoy Moreno. Because there's no more of traveling now, right? It's mostly here. So when I tell them, they could not believe what we really experienced with him, which is really, we kind of saw the world with Pitoy.
For any maybe upcoming designer at this time or this age, for sure, Pitoy is there. When you search, Pitoy is going to be there. Because at that time talaga, terno was known worldwide. Okay? And also the Filipino fabrics and all that. He used all of that in his collection. And to me, that's passion. That's love for the country and his, artistry, everything rolled into one. And he's one for the books, actually, Pitoy. Unforgettable person. I will never forget Pitoy Moreno. And my children know about him. They just enjoy the stories I have with them. So I think he'll live on.